Guys, UFC 314 is coming up, and my partners at DraftKings are helping get you in on all the action. In the co-main event, it's going to be Chandler versus Pimlet. In the main event for the World Championship, Volkanovski taking on Lopez. You are not going to want to miss this fight night, and right now, my partners at DraftKings are offering all new customers $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Download the DraftKings app right now. When you sign up, use the code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Use your $150 at DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights as they happen, which makes watching the fights that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 with a shot at cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use my code SONNEN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Aaron Pico to the UFC. Now, good job, Chael, by the way. I knew this. Aaron gave me this news. Gave me this news about 40 days ago and asked me to do nothing with it. There's some guys that need to be in the UFC. They just need to. Their stories won't be complete if they don't stop off. It's just a reality. Francis Ngannou would be a great example. All the money that Francis is making, the respect that he has, the way that he can command. If you took the part out about his time in the octagon, that whole story falls apart. Just for an example. And what's Pico going to do when he gets there? Aaron Pico was the hottest debuting prospect in the history of MMA the night he debuted at 19 years old in Madison Square Garden. There had been nobody on a debut that had as much hype and expectation and excitement around them as Aaron. And wouldn't you know, Aaron changes distance, gets a hold of his opponent's body. Aaron's a lifetime wrestler. The opponent does the ultimate wrestling defense, which just puts on a guillotine choke and chokes Aaron out. And it was fast. 20-some seconds. He was heartbroken. He was devastated. And I remember watching him get right back up. I remember him in the back in the locker room. I remember trying to console him, me and a number of other people. And he wouldn't run. He wouldn't run and carry and cover his face in something and just try to get back to his room. He would stand there and he would talk about it through the pain. Through the absolute pain and through the tears coming down, he would stand and talk about that moment. He'd want to know what we saw and how did this happen and is it common and was it just the nerves and what's it going to take to get a rematch and is Scott Coker going to cut him? Everything that was going through this young man's head. When the reality was, Aaron, everything that just happened is exactly what was supposed to happen. There's not a 19-year-old in all the lands who's never done this that can walk into Madison Square Garden and beat a guy who at prior times has done this. What happened tonight is what was supposed to happen. And now is the wake-up call. And it's what you're going to do different. And I only hear great things about Pico. I mean, I've been cornered by Greg Jackson before. I've actually cornered and thanked Greg Jackson before. Hey, you know, one wrestler about another wrestler, but thank you for the way you're looking after him. Greg Jackson tells me that Pico works like he's never seen. Hardest worker in that gym says, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a pace and an effort and a drive and a determination to be the absolute best through day to day, twice a day, every day but Sunday practices like I have with Aaron Pico. And some time went by. In fact, I'm trying to think of it for you. First time, I fought at Madison Square Garden twice. The last time I did, I retired, and this is not the last time. That was in 19. This isn't the last time. It was the first. So that would have been 17. So 17, and here we are at 25, 5, 6, 7, 8. Adding that to Pico's age puts Pico about 26 to 28 years old. And that's still young, and that's still a lot of time. But if you ever believe anyone that ever tells you you've got time, you're still young. That person's not your friend. The people you want to surround yourself want to inundate you with the belief of urgency. It's got to be done today, and it's got to be done by you. And I am very curious when Aaron comes over, because boy, he got that sport figured out. And he didn't go unblemished, but he got the sport figured out. Like one night, I'll give you an example, Aaron Pico's fighting, and his shoulder goes out. When the shoulder goes out, it's like it's in a different place. It's not where his shoulder should be. So he sees that the referee isn't paying attention, and this happens between on a break, in between rounds. And he starts running his shoulder into the wall of the hexagon to knock it back into place. He's grabbing it, he's pulling down on it, he's having trainers come in, and they pull that, and they get it back in place. And the referee's like, are you ready? Are you ready? At which point, somebody is now telling the commission, hey, wait a minute, he's not ready. His shoulder was out of place. They just reset it. They're relaying this to the referee. The referee looks over and goes, no, everything's good. His shoulder, I can see it right here. It's in place. They're like, no, it was out of place. He put it in place when you weren't looking. And we have a rule that says if your shoulder goes out, the contest comes to a stop. But I just want you to think about the level of competitor that you would have to be. You would have the perfect exception out. Aaron was winning the fight up until that point. There was nothing about this where Aaron goes home and he goes home like a loser. He goes home feeling bad. It was nothing like that. He just wasn't ready to go home. And he wasn't going to go home with a loss, no matter how it looked. And he reset his shoulder. And I'm just letting you know the mindset of a young man that is Aaron Pico. That story in itself was about a half a decade ago. Now you fast forward. You bring him into the UFC. They're going to give him a tough Russian. They'll deal him right from the bottom of the deck. They got a tough Russian for him. I know the guy's name. It's escaping me, but I watched the guy's last fight, and it was against Aljo Sterling. Aljo beat the guy, but the guy won a decision. If you want to know how good this guy is, I'm telling you, the guy is very good. He's not quite as good as Aljo, but he was good enough to win a decision over Aljo. That's a tough draw. Because officially, the Russian who's undefeated beat the former world champion. Aaron Pico will be drawing into an undefeated guy whose last victory was over that of a world champion. It's a tough draw. But I want to set the stage for you guys. I want you to enjoy it. And above everything else, this young man, Aaron Pico, and all the trials and tribulations that he's been through, and they do go back some. They go back to 17 years old in the 2016 Olympic trials. But everything that he's been through, if you happen to see him, tell him, welcome, Aaron. We're glad you're here.